All right, this is probably the fourth time I've done this video. I've had some hardware technical issues, but we're going to do the story again. I'm Jeff McDougall, and hopefully by now you've gotten the book and you can follow along with our family history. I thought this story was so interesting that I wanted to put a video on it, and there'll be other videos, and I just enjoy the stories that come along with our family history, and this is one of them that I want to tell you about. This is setting in 1887, and just to give you a little bit of lineage here, this is concerning the Armours, and the Armour is connected to us through my maternal side, my mother's side of the family. Doc Armour, Edward Doc Armour, his boys got in a mix-up with Edward's brother Taylor's boys, so this cousins are after each other here in this story. But one of the names that you might recognize by now is a Mary Kinshafuni Armour Jones. Mary Kinshafuni married a Roland Jones. Mary Kinshafuni is said to be the Indian girl that was found in a hollowed out tree. She's the mother of Emma Louise Saxon. Emma Louise Saxon is the mother of Clara Louise Saxon Butts, my grandmother, and the mother of my mom, Clara Patricia. So that's where the lineage is coming from. The Armours down to Kinshafuni Jones, down to Saxon, down to Butts, and then down to my mother. So as the story goes, 1887 in Bushville, Georgia. That town that no longer exists. This is in Hall County, Georgia. And 1887, as the story goes, Bill Armour, he steals some valuable mules and a wagon in South Carolina, and he makes his way back with his stolen goods and the stolen livestock back to Georgia. And the owner of those valuable mules and wagon, Dr. Hookham, gives chase, but doesn't come alone. He gathers a posse with him, and with Dr. Hookham in that posse, they do recover the stolen goods. Now, that story would be interesting enough, but there's more to it. One of the members of that posse is Tom Armour, and Tom, being a cousin to the one they're chasing, Bill Armour, that really upset some of the members of the family, the Armours. Namely, it upset Paul Armour and the brother-in-law, Bill Posey. Bill Posey's married to Bill Armour and Paul Armour's sister, Sarah. So the brother-in-law, Bill Posey, and Paul Armour, they're really upset about this. Tom should have never involved himself in chasing down his cousin, Bill. And we're going to get him after that. We're going to get him. And so they lay in wait for Tom to return home. And they're on the side of the road. They're laying in the bushes on the side of the road. Well, Tom does make his way home. And these two armed men, they surprise Tom. Tom's riding on a mule. They surprise him. They jump out, and Tom is reportedly has said, "Aren't you sorry you ever met us?" And Tom doesn't realize why they're upset at him, though I'm sure he has some idea. So Tom says, "Well, why should I be sorry to meet the likes of you?" And the argument, the confrontation, begins. During this confrontation, Bill Posey, the brother-in-law, grabs a hold of the mule, the bridle of the mule. Tom, pulls on the reins to get the mule away from Bill Posey and turns to flee these two armed men. The whole time, Paul Armour's got a gun pointed at Tom and shoots him. Well, the two armed men, they flee the area. They're on the lam. They're out of there. and Tom Armour makes his way to a neighbor's house, the Mises, M-I-Z-E, and he tells him what happened. I've been shot. He grabs Mr. Mises' gun and goes back after, Paul Armour. But unfortunately for Tom, Mr. Mises had been out hunting earlier and had shot up all of his ammunition. There was no ammunition for that gun. So, they asked Mr. Armour, Tom Armour, to lay down. Let's get you seen by a doctor. We're so worried about you. Somebody goes and fetches the doctor from town. Dr. Sullivan comes out and examines Tom Armour. Now, in the meantime, Paul Armour and Bill Posey, they believe they've shot Tom, and Tom is surely going to die because he's been shot, and so they're leaving the area. They're no longer in Georgia. Matter of fact, we know later that they end up in Texas, and believing that they've killed their cousin Tom. They're on the lam. As it turns out, Tom didn't die from that gunshot. The doctor examined him and found that there's nothing life-threatening here. Though you do have a bullet in you, it's not life-threatening. It bounced off a bottom rib and is lodged in the waistband area of Tom's backside. So Tom lays, he's recovering at the Mises' house for a couple weeks, and the newspaper later reports that he's made a full recovery. In the meantime, we don't know where Paul Armour is at, and I could see on the family tree that William Posey and Sarah, it's been said that William just abandoned his wife Sarah. We know now that the reason for that was that William and Paul, fled and was on the lam. But Sarah has more children in the years later, so we can only assume that Bill Posey has been, sneaking back home, making more of a family and caring for his family. So that the irony of the story is, one, that Tom didn't die from his injury, but Paul Armour believed he did, and Paul Armour lived for 28 years in Texas under another name of Charles Robinson, and on his deathbed, he's dying from some disease or something. 28 years later, he confesses to the interns and the nurses that he's 56 years old, and he's killed his cousin in Georgia, and his real name is Paul Armour. They send telegraphs back to Georgia from Texas. They confirm some of this, and Paul learns that in fact his cousin didn't die, but he is, that the whole thing did happen. But Paul, he dies from his ailment, and that made the newspaper that he gave a deathbed confession and had warrants in Georgia. And that is the end of that story. And later on, like I said, I see some children being born of Sarah, so I know that Bill Posey's been coming in and out, and so I don't have any more information on Bill Posey. I would like to keep researching. Maybe you could find what, if any, consequences did Bill Posey face for being involved in the shooting of Tom Armour. So that must have been a tough thing for Edward Doc Armour and his brother Taylor. Like these two brothers, they have their sons after each other. It must have been a mess in 1885, 1887, and it was interesting enough that I want to make a video to you about it. If you follow along with the book, if you're interested, get into the research and find out more information on this, and add to your book. Share it with the rest of your family. I'm hoping to look more into the little Indian girl, Mary Kitchafuni. I've not, even though it's a folklore, it's a folk tale. It's been told by several different areas of our family. There's got to be something there to it. I'll probably make a video of that. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you're following along with the book. It's all going to be there. And enjoy your night. I'm Jeff McDougall. I love you.